Hello folks, I am back yet again for another review, and today we're taking a look at this, the Scale-Trained Rivet Counter EMD SD40-2 in the EX Conrail Norfolk Southern paint scheme with the early 2000s appearance. This is number 3398 with the DCC and sound. Alright, well without further ado, let's open it up. No delays here on this channel. Very nice box, I have to say. Of course, we do have our manual. This is a 2025 model as well. The most recent run, I believe. There are no spare parts. And there you go, yeah, it looks really nice. This is a very tight box. We have handrail protectors here. Then we do have little things on the bottom. Both sides. Just have to pull these off gently. And put it back down. There was a plastic protector piece on the top, but I lost that, so yep. There is more protection than just that. Of course, it just slides right back in, just as easily as it did coming out. Alright folks, so now that we have her out of the box here and on the little Lazy Susan, I will have to say it's probably one of the best looking models I have ever owned, period. I know I say that quite a lot, but it looks amazing. This dynamic brake hatch is removable, although it is very difficult to get off. I'm not gonna do it. Well, I would have liked to, but it's not gonna come off. Of course, you can if you would like to put a DCC plug inside. But yeah, it looks really good. Although there is a couple things I will say that I do have a bit of an issue with, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, we have the scale transmittal knuckle couplers, front and rear. A drop plate doesn't move though. But of course, we do have our etched fans. You can see the wires through them right there, which is a bit disappointing. I don't know why they do that, but they did. It looks fine though, in my opinion. But yeah, let's go up for a little up close look here. Right now, going up for a little bit of an up close here. Just want to show a couple of things off that I'm not sure if are meant to be missing or meant to be like this. So let's just bring the camera a little bit closer here. So just a couple of things. The windows are stuck. Unfortunately, I can't pull them out. And then a couple things up here in the front. These windows specifically are out. They're not fully out, but they are like sticking out, which I'll show a bit better here in a moment, which is, it's very strange. But overall, as you can see, the model looks great. I can't really complain about anything on this, which is good. So yeah, I just want to show a couple things here on the underside. So if we flip it over, I don't know how visible it is, but there is only one sander valve line, which is on the right side up here. There is not one on the left, which is very strange. All of the steps are etched metal though, which is of course nice. And my camera's falling down again. But yeah, it does look very good, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I just want to show the windows here. Alright, so now with the windows here, as you can see, they're practically out. Maybe in real life they pop out like that, I don't know. But just on the front left and right rear, nowhere else on the model is it like that. I think the only thing they're being held in by are the wiper blades. But yeah, as you can see, but yeah, they're just hung out like that for some reason. Maybe it's meant to be like that. Like I said, I don't know, but it's very strange. At least I think it is. But yeah, so that's our details here. Of course, we do have all of the brake line detail, our scale transmetal knuckle couplers, and of course I like to call it diamond plating. It does look very fine, although it's not really a diamond shape on this one. And then we do have our K5LA, I believe, or K5HL. Our front ditch lights, which work great. Of course, all of our front brake line hoses. This is a plastic chain. Same thing on the front here, plastic chain. Of course, our XPRR, X Conrail SD40, which is patched into the NS paint scheme. Or I say NS, more like patched Conrail. But yeah, regardless, let's open it up and see what it looks like inside. So there's my brake line. So whoever assembled it got it stuck underneath. Just a quick tip for getting the body back on. I saw this from Dan Quarterpassy. If you don't know who he is, I highly recommend you check him out. Very good model train YouTuber. For the fender lines to get them back on without breaking, highly recommend that you put them over the steps so they don't break. But yeah, unfortunately, this sander line was stuck under one of the contacts. So I'm surprised my ditch lights and everything was still working, even though that was stuck under it. I'm not sure what the third one is for though, because there's nothing else is there. So I'm not sure what that third prong is for. Although very interesting. All right, let's get this body back on. Alright, just want to point out here with the front brake line, the front left one specifically. Unfortunately, because of whoever assembled it, put it in wrong, it is now twisted sideways, and it's kind of crumpled at the top. After all, these do actually ride pretty much on the wheels, so now the truck, it gets caught and it pushes it back, which is a bit unfortunate. So yeah, oh boy. Alrighty, folks, now on the coupler height track, I have I don't know what to call it now, an NS SD40, and I have my trusty tangent scale Anna Specs hopper. This hopper has always been accurate, and I have used it for every single test, so I'm using it again for this one. Alright, let's zoom in and see how it fares. And remember, please do not lift your locomotive by the dynamic brake hatches, as it is removable. But alright, let's see here. And that is low. Oh, scale trains. Low, low, low. That's a bit unfortunate. Let's see the rear now. Remember, if you're double heading these, you will be using the front. I know not a lot of people do, but they still do. Yeah, this one is low as well. That sucks. Alright, two low couplers. That's not too good. Alright, let's continue down to the track. Alright, so now for the 20 second radius test, I'm very surprised that this can actually do it. But yeah, it can. It can do it. I don't think it can do an 18. Maybe it could. But regardless, it can do it. It can even do it with a car behind it and a car in front of it. Props to Scale Trains there. Although, when I cut out the audio here, or I should say before I cut out the audio, there is so much noise coming from the brake lines because, they're practically touching a wheel. Although, I will say, it's probably only because mine was bent and, it really wouldn't be an issue if it wasn't bent. So, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt there. It's fine on 20-second radius. So, yeah, very surprised. Alright, let's continue on here. Alrighty, folks, now time for everyone's favorite part, leaf functions. So yeah, this has to be one of the loudest locomotives I've ever owned, period. And yes, I really do mean it. This one is all default TV. The only thing I've changed is the horn to match the realistic one. But of course, I will go through all of them. But alright, let's start with the headlight. Alrighty, folks, I hope y'all enjoyed that function session here. So yeah, we're going to be running it in reverse today because NS style. I have 12 boxcars behind it. It can do more than that, but just not on my, what's it called again, 2 to 3% grade that I have in random spots in my layout because of how uneven my basement floor is. But on my even part of my layout, it was able to do 25 cars, and it could probably do more if you had a super flat layout, which is what, you would be pulling. You would be pulling around 60 cars if you had a very, very flat layout. At least in real life, you would if it was completely flat. But I don't really think anyone is going to really be pulling that much with one locomotive. So you'll probably be good if you have a second one. So yeah, without further ado, let's start the running session. Oh, also one thing I just remembered. This does have an extended startup. If you double tap F8, it will extend the startup. But I did that during the function session, so I'll be doing the regular startup now. Alright, let's start. Alrighty, folks. Thank you all so much for watching my review here. Yeah, I gotta say, this is definitely one good locomotive. I can't really complain about it too much, besides the coupler heights being off. But before we start here, just before we start, I should say, I do have a point system out of 100. If something is bad or wrong, I take points off. So, a couple things I will be taking points off of out of 100. I will be taking 10 points for the coupler heights being off, brings us down to 90 points. Something that's also pretty interesting is that the dynamic, or not the dynamic, the fans are actually just molded pieces. They're not real fans, but they look really good, so yeah, that's good. Something that's not too good, though, is that my front deck plate, or pilot plate, I should say, actually lifted off. I was able to put it back down, so I'm not really counting this as a big issue, but I might as well just point that out. I'm taking 5 points off though for the front brake line being stuck under the body. At least I was able to take it off. But if I didn't think of taking the body off, then I would have never known that it was actually there. But yeah, regardless, I think everything else is practically fine in the locomotive. The couplers are good. Yeah, everything else seems to be fine. I'm not sure about prototypical accuracy though, as there's not many photos of 3398 around. The last remaining, or at least last photos of this ever taken was in 2014. I don't think it's scrapped, as far as I know from my Google searching, that it's just been put in storage. I guess, I don't know if they're actually preserving it or if they've scrapped it, but apparently it's been put in storage. And I will be taking 5 points off for the windows coming out. They didn't fall off though, and I was able to push them back in, but I will be taking 5 points off for those. So that brings us down to 80. Yeah, but that's going to be it for my points today, so that's 80 points in total. I think this locomotive is definitely worth the money. Of course, the tariffs from Diddy do bring it up, so yeah, I'm saying 80 points, and this locomotive, I believe retail price was 349 USD, I think, around there. So yeah, that's gonna be my point rating. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching, folks, and if you can, please like and subscribe. It does help out the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you get one. This is Cedric Strains signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.